Okay, today we are playing a game on Eichenwald. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we'll be playing Sombra the entire way through. We are also on the console today, so consider yourself forewarned. Before we get to that, though, let me tell you that I was mistaken about something I've been saying. I have said that never let it be said that I willfully spread misinformation, unlike some people. I've said that Sombra could deactivate Mercy's healing in Valkyrie by hacking her. This is apparently not the case, as evidenced right here, where she's hacked, but clearly still regenerating off her passive. So, I could have sworn it did, but I went and looked for, like, evidence of a bug fix or something. Couldn't find it in any patch note anywhere, so apparently I just imagined the whole thing. So, there you go. Sorry, I lied to you. So, now, let's start the actual game. So we're attacking Eichenwald first. No, we're not. We're defending Eichenwald first. We're just at the attacker's spawn, as is tradition when you're playing Sombra. So we've learned they have a Doomfist, and we've set about bullying the Doomfist as much as we possibly can. An understandable goal when you're playing Sombra. We could have hacked him sooner, because we could have, like, started when he's at the bottom of the staircase and hacked him before he gets to the doorway. Because by the time he gets to the doorway, he tucks around the corner, and then we're coming at him from a slightly less than ideal angle. So we could have hacked him a little bit sooner and got to work sooner on him. Basically, as soon as he came around the corner, like, as soon as he was around the corner was pretty much good enough, to be honest. So we try to hack him again. He's having none of it this time. He says, no, no, no. Got hacked once, never again. Never again. It's okay, we just translocate away, though. And we can see that he's low in this room over here, so we come over to try and finish him off. Here's Moira. Moira's already used Fade by that point, so it's a less than, not as exciting of a hack as it could be, but she ends up walking up the staircase into our teammates while she's still hacked anyway, so... I mean, you know, it all works out in the end. The thing is, Moira, it's like, once Moira's used Fade, it's like, if you hack her after she's used Fade, by the time that Fade comes off cooldown again, hack will be gone, unless you hacked her at, like, a weird time, like 3 seconds afterwards or something. Then you'll get, like, 2 seconds off of it still, but yeah, that's kind of like the big thing for Moira, outside of hacking her out of Coalescence, but you've got to be behind the Moira to pull that one off, of course. So we're sitting over here, just kind of being a dick, to be honest, which is, I mean, the whole point of playing Sombra, though, to be fair, isn't it? So I do like how we don't just sit and, like, stare at the health kit while we wait for the translocator cooldown to come up again. We're actually still being active and, like, moving back while we're waiting for the cooldown. And we chuck it somewhere that's, like, not right on top of the health kit. Because I do hate watching a Sombra just, like, sit and stare at the health kit while she waits for the translocator cooldown to come up again. And you could be, you know, moving somewhere at least. So we tried to... bit of a temporal flux. We tried to chuck the translocator into the enemy team to go in an emp, probably, but we accidentally kind of just, like, lobbed it on the floor in front of us. Did we hack anybody else? Oh, Reinhardt's right there, so we did. The thing is, I'm kind of not super excited about using the emp at this point, because they're already, like, not looking too good. It's just lost Doomfist and Mercy, so we're hacking, like, these two people with the emp. That's cool enough. But, like, if we just hack Reinhardt manually, that's accomplishing roughly the same thing, you know? If Moira, like, started ulting, then, hey, you know, you get the fucking Moira out of her ult and hack the Reinhardt as well, which is good times. But by that point, I feel like we've already won the team fight, so the emp is a bit of an overcommit. So it turns out they've got a Sombra back here now. It is fun to bully the other Sombra as Sombra, because then you just hack her, and she, like, you know, when you hack the enemy Sombra, they forget the sage advice of our Lord and Savior Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder, which is never go full retard. As soon as you hack the enemy Sombra, they just, like, hold W and left click and, like, walk straight into the entire enemy team. Just like, why am I going anywhere? And then they die. It's absolutely incredible to watch every single time. they just walk straight into your team and kill themselves, unable to comprehend that suddenly it's not working. How did we die? I was busy doing my bit right there. I didn't notice we were about to throw ourselves off the edge of the map. No, we did really just like walk straight off the edge of the map. Fair enough. I don't know. Maybe we thought, fuck it, lost the point, might as well. But I mean, we're playing Sombra, so we can walk back again. We'll write it off as a rogue gamma ray. So, oh fuck. Did he actually not detect us? That's incredible. He must have been like an inch outside of the detection range. Amazing. It's also very funny to like come in and see Reaper just like crouch walking somewhere, you know? I don't know, something I always find very funny about Reaper's crouch walking animation. So, a bit of an awkward interaction. We've learned that she's directly under us based off how that translocator flew away. No need to hack her anymore. Her translocator ain't anywhere except in that room, and she's pretty fucking dead by that point. So, there being another Sombra, we are incentivized to now hack more health kits, basically. You can kind of get by a Sombra a lot of the time just hacking, like, the health kit that's closest to the fight. But if there's another Sombra, suddenly it's like, well, the more I hack, the less options she has at the same time. But we're trying to maintain uptime as much as possible. We don't want to waste all our time walking around just hacking health kits, you know? Tragically, we didn't get Reinhardt with this. If we got Reinhardt with this EMP as well, this would be, like, big money, because suddenly his engage would be absolutely ruined right there. But he still manages to get into our team, and, you know, it is cool to chuck the EMP in as the counter-EMP, but tragically we were just far enough away to not catch Ryan. But as we can see, the fight worked out in our favor anyway. I thought Sigma killed himself by, like, forgetting he was gonna drop after Gravitic Flux and, like, falling off the map, but I just heard the man yell, "You can kill yourself with Sigma's rock?" Yeah, you can. Sigma does self-damage, turns out. Something I did find in the patch notes while I was looking for evidence that I wasn't insane, which I failed to find, of course, was that there was a point in time a bug where Mercy could get ult charge from damage-boosting Pharah while she damaged herself, so that was pretty sick. Fucking heal the damage boost the Pharah while she's killing herself, and then you heal the damage that Pharah did to herself afterwards as well. Such efficiency. So she's trying to kill us right now. Like, it's very hard for her to do so. It is very difficult to kill the Sombra when she is sat on top of a hacked health kit, you know? The big health kits are actually slightly less good than the small health kits for that, weirdly enough, just because they have a slightly longer recharge time. The small health kits, if they're hacked, are like back up practically immediately, so I find they're usually better for that kind of situation. Somewhat counterintuitively, but man, dude, it's hard to kill the Sombra. So I don't know if we saw that, but the translocator did just fly over our head. I was quite surprised we didn't get emped, to be honest with you. As soon as I see the translocator do that, I'm like, here it fucking comes. But no, it did not come for us that time. So everything's kind of going to shit out there. There is a Bridget now. Okay. I was really afraid we were going to get, like, one tapped right there. There is a Bridget now, so we do have to worry about that, because if we pop out of stealth in a bad spot now, it's possible that Bridget will turn around and just stun us, and then we'll get clapped by her teammates, so we have to be careful about that now, unfortunately. She got in the mech, damn. That would have been pretty sick. That's always a very fun one to bully also, just like hacking the diva before she can finish call mech. Where'd it go? It was like right fucking there. Tragically, you know, you usually don't have a huge window to do that in. Well, we were trying to hack the Sombra, but we accidentally hacked the health kit, it looked like. We do want to hack the Sombra in that situation, obviously, so she can't escape, but I think we were trying to, and we just got the health kit by accident. It's gonna happen sometimes. Such is life. Here's Reaper. Reaper's spinning now. Reaper's dead now. Oh, no. So, emping right now, it's pretty justified. As soon as we, like, get out of range, pretty much, to, like, die to Death Blossom as we're doing it, Because, obviously, the fear is, like, you start emping and then you lose it. But we're out of range at this point, so emping now would be fully justified. Cancel Reaper's ultimate, break Reinhardt's shield, probably catch Bridget as well. And, you know, we get to know in the benefit of hindsight, Reaper died, and Reinhardt was going to do that. So, we know we definitely did want to fucking emp there, but... yeah, as soon as we, like, because the fear is that you're gonna lose the emp because it has, like, a deceptively long cast time, but once we're out of, like, Reaper's Death Blossom range, it's gonna be a good one to go for. We obviously didn't know Reaper was gonna die, and, like, getting Reaper's ult plus 2 others is always gonna be good. Then we just come back, we emp immediately upon reviving. What else are we gonna do, pretty much, from this situation, you know? We're gonna get back out there and we're gonna emp, aren't we? Hold on 1 second. I'm a thirsty boy, and oh, Jesus Christ, I have no fingernails. God damn it. Hold on. Useless man tries and fails to open container for 10 minutes with a fucking pencil. Oh, I've got you now, you motherfucker. Oh my. I've literally cut all the way around the fucking seal, and I still can't open it. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, finally. Oh my god. Sweet success. I don't want to tell you how long that took. Thank God. That took a depressingly long time. Even with a knife. This is, you know, this folds. I can't get the motherfucker to fold in either, so everything's going very well over here. I'm also opening a fucking drawer right next to the microphone, so that will have sounded great, I'm sure. Oh, Jesus Christ, what a disaster. Alright, so we're about to attack Eichenwald, and as you can see, for the benefit of having the timeline right here, it doesn't go too well, does it? It doesn't go too well. Unless we, like... even if we absolutely clapped them, I don't think it's mathematically possible to win from this time. Life is difficult sometimes, you know? So, this is a good checkpoint to be playing Sombra on, just because it's one of those, like, 2 CP kind of arrangements where you've only got to get, like, the one good fight and you've captured this checkpoint. And this is, like, most of the trouble with Eichenwald, is capturing the first checkpoint. The third checkpoint also is kind of a dick. To be fair, you could win on any checkpoint on Eichenwald, but the first one is, like, real bad. Remember when that door wasn't there? Remember when that door on the right-hand side wasn't there? What a dark, depressing period of history that was. And it's not a whole lot better now, to be honest with you. So there's there's a Symmetra over there. This is terrible news for us, because now there's fucking turrets everywhere. They've got someone who can easily spy check for us. It's very depressing times, and there she fucking is. She also kind of doesn't give a shit if we hack her, which is very depressing. If playing Sombra, it's very sad when there's someone on the enemy team that just doesn't care, you know? But, on the bright side, our M could do 5,000 damage now. Well, it's going to be 4,000 damage soon, as they're nerfing Symmetra, deservedly so. Should probably, like, make one of those patch videos at some point, you know, like what we did 1,000 years ago. Anyway, so things are not exactly going too terribly well right now. We're having some trouble getting through the checkpoint so far. There's no reason we can't just, like, chuck the translocator through the choke point, to be honest with you. If we don't want to just, like, try and run through it stealth, which, you know, can be hard to do sometimes when people are, like, spamming at the choke point. We each chuck the translocator on top of the bridge, stealth, and then they have to guess which way we go from that point, you know, as long as we don't just, like, stealth and immediately get hit as soon as we go into it. They have to guess which way we go. So, the translocator is good for getting you in places. I think you can chuck it over the roof, actually, on Eichenwald. I think you can chuck it over that. You know where the big health kit is on the outside? I think you can chuck it over that roof. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not 100% on that one. I think you can, though, because Sombra's got a pretty good arm. She's not as good of a tosser as, Anna is, because Grandma's fucking strong, dude. Grandma will fucking pitch that shit. Meanwhile, Tracer, Fucking Tracer's Throw depresses me to this day. What did we die to? Did we walk on Junkrat's passive? Yes, we did. Tracer's Throw upsets me to this very day, you know? Fucking spry, athletic woman, fucking pilot, military, all this. It's so fucking depressing. Meanwhile, Anna will chuck it from one side of the map to the fucking over. I know it's for balancing purposes, because it would be really uncool to just be hanging out somewhere. Meanwhile, Tracer's on the other side of the map, like, ugh, and then it just sticks you as you come out of your fucking spawn. And that would never feel particularly good. It wouldn't happen that much, to be honest, but it would feel bad every time. So anyway. We definitely should not have come out of stealth right there with so few hit points. The Symmetra being nearby also makes it even less of a good idea for that exact reason of what happened to us, but, like, we needed to prioritize healing before we started doing anything else. We were in very easily just random one-shot territory. Someone turns around and just goes, over. Easy peasy. That's not a very good place for the translocator, because I think that's actually still visible through the doorway. Let me go back. You know, we could extrapolate from where we chucked it. That looks like it's still visible through the doorway fairly easily. So that's not a great place. Being visible through doorways is usually pretty bad. If you're on, like, Junkertown, point A, you've, like, gotta chuck it, you know, all of the small health kits, or all the health kits nearby are just, like, in fucking doorways, so you gotta, like, chuck them around corners to actually hide them. It's very inconvenient. So we could have hacked Diva first to make that, maneuver a little bit safer, and more easily guarantee that we're gonna, like, demech Diva, or at least get a lot of ult charge out of it. But we got Diva out of mech regardless, so hey, obviously doesn't matter, right? So he's never gonna let us do that. He's never going to let us just, like, hack him while he's hopping towards us. We're better off just, like, continuing to shoot into him instead. Because at least then we'll get some ult charge when he takes the shield down. He has to just be, like, completely asleep at the wheel, just let us hack him while he's looking straight at us. Unless his shield breaks, which was obviously not the case in that situation. So, tragically, I mean, it was a fair enough time to use our EMP, but tragically now we don't have the EMP to use on the photon barrier. But when we EMP'd was a fair enough time to EMP. I would have done the same thing. It's just very upsetting that then Symmetra does that right after we EMP. I could hear someone complaining about High Noon, pretty much right there. Someone didn't High Noon the whole game, and then someone was like, he High Noon the baby Diva. I'd High Noon the baby Diva, just to send the message. Yep, he's playing Reaper. Oh no, Moira! And you know the worst part is that Moira, like, 100% faded to get into that position, so then she starts getting shot in the back, and she's like, if only I had Fade. That's why you be really careful when you use Fade for movement, because sometimes then, Reaper appears behind you, and he kills you. That's the moral of the story. So yeah, I don't really have that much to say about that game, to be honest with you. For the most part, I felt like we were pretty much, like, playing, Sombra, you know. We talked about some stuff, but, yeah, I don't really have that much to say about that game. Nothing, stood out to me massively, to be honest with you. Other than, like, when we were, like, really having trouble, like, getting through the choke point on our attacking round. Like, Sombra's not very good at just, like, playing choke points. We're trying to circumnavigate those boys as fast as possible. And, like, you know, if you... Most choke points, you can chuck the translocator somewhere that, like... Even if they see where you've chucked it, they still have to guess where you go on the other side. As long as you don't get, like, instantly hit when you appear there. Oh god, excuse me. Like Iconvold, you can chuck it through the doorway, and even if they see it, like, on the doorway on the, bridge above, I mean, you can chuck it through there from the outside, and even if they see you chuck it in there, like, you're invisible when you go in, so they then have to guess, are you gonna go down through the left, down through the right, or are you gonna go back out the top again? So, either way, you know, and I mean, if you just chuck it on the fucking bridge, like, they still have to, like, hit you when you appear, or, like, guess where you're gonna go in the building or drop down, either side, right? So, Playing around in the choke point, Sombra's not very good at that, you know? She got better at it when they nerfed her spread, or buffed her spread, rather. They buffed her gun, is a better way to put this. You know, she got better at it. She kind of got turned into like I felt like they started pushing her towards a more soldier play style a little bit in there, where suddenly her gun got like pretty good at like decent range. Obviously not actually soldier range, it's still a fucking Uzi. But it felt like they nudged her more in like she could go for a more soldier style of play, where you basically just hang around and like use hack as utility as people try to get in. But I mean, Sombra's still gonna be at her strongest when she pops out behind your squishy people and just goes dead. And then you hack the tank and bully them from behind for like 10 minutes when they're like, team, help, please! And they never do. They never do. You just sit farming the D.Va for the rest of the game. It's great. Anyway, yeah. Like, that stood out. Other than that, we really didn't accomplish much during that attacking round. You know, like, getting through the choke point, then we, like, didn't prioritize healings, we just got clapped. It didn't feel like we had a very firm idea of what we were trying to do while we were attacking either. Like, it didn't feel like we had much of a plan. It kind of felt like we were like, play the choke point for a little bit, you know, see what happens. Alright, we'll go behind the bad man, see what we got going on. Translocate away. It didn't feel like we had a very firm plan of what we were trying to accomplish. And, like, anytime you're playing a flanker, like, having a plan is pretty good. The enemy team during that round, like, it's pretty hard for us to kill most of those people, unfortunately. So, the best thing is, like, hack doesn't affect a lot of these people. Like, Lucio and Moira are gonna be, like, pretty in their teammates. So, like, Junkrat and Symmetra, they don't really care that much if we hack them. It's not the end of the world to them. And, so, what would have been pretty much the best case for us most of that round is just, like, go behind the bad men, hack D.Va or Reinhardt from behind, bully them. Reinhardt would be a good one, because then it makes it easier for our teammates to get through the choke point as well. They still have to try and, like, push through the, Junkrat, Symmetra, unless we manage to get a pick on one of them, but if we, hack the Reinhardt, it makes it a little bit easier for them to get through, and then we can just bully Reinhardt for ult charge. And then we can hopefully use Emp to make big plays, but, you know, sometimes you Emp the bad men, and then Symmetra uses Photon Parry. Because the fight didn't go well enough, and life is difficult sometimes. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST till midnight EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.